Our lead story tonight, will same-sex marriage be made legal in India? And does the Supreme Court have the right to decide on this matter? A landmark hearing has begun today of a 5-judge constitution bench. Sunil has the highlights. Sunil, it's interesting. The Supreme Court said today they will look just at the Special Marriage Act, not at other issues like adoption at this stage. But also the centre arguing that the Supreme Court shouldn't actually adjudicate this matter at all. What are the big headlines from today's hearing, the first day?
Well, Sonia, many important points because it was a long hearing, but definitely the 5-judge bench deciding not to get into the personal laws of various religions, be it Hindu, Muslim, Christians, Jews. As they said, we won't get into that gamut and, you know, the adoption, inheritance and all those other issues. We'll do the middle path and just confine ourselves to the Special Marriages Act. And the Chief Justice of India making an intervention saying there is no absolute concept of a man or an absolute concept of a woman at all. It's not the question of what your genitals are, but it's far more complex. That's the point, and not even the Special Marriages Act says, man or woman. The very notion of a man and woman is not absolute, and it's based on, and just not based on genitals. So which, of course, the Solicitor General countered, saying that a biological man means biological man, and there is no notion to this. So this has been a hectic argument. This after the centre made a continuous plea that it's not the judiciary's domain, it's not the courts to decide, it is Parliament, that states must intervene in this matter. They must be a party because this is part of the concurrent list. But I think the 5-judge bench were quite clear and categorical that they would continue to hear this matter and decide one way or the other on the Special Marriages Act and see whether there is a space and a legal point in terms of legitimizing the same-sex marriage. Of course, as you rightly pointed out, Mukul Rohtgi, on behalf of the petitioners, using Hindu mythology to cut across and make his point on a consistent basis, saying that this is a right of individual privacy, individuals' right to dignity, and making a continuous argument saying that the concept of both man and women have to be seen in its entirety and not by the mere prism of how the Solicitor General was pointing out.
Right, Sunil, thanks so much for that. But another big headline coming from the Supreme Court tonight, and that's in the Bilkis Banu case. The 2-judge bench said today that a pregnant woman was gang raped and several people were killed. Like you cannot compare apples with oranges, similarly, a massacre cannot be compared with a single murder. The question is whether the government applied its mind before the release of convicts and what material formed the basis of its decision to grant remission. Today it is Bilkis, but tomorrow it can be anyone. It may be you or me. The court also told the centre and the state, which did not want to give the files, saying that if you do not show your reasons for grant of remission, then we will draw our own conclusions. The Supreme Court saying the files have to be produced by the next hearing on the May the 2nd, as the centre and the state were looking to argue privilege to say that these files should not be given to the Supreme Court. The story we're tracking tonight, and that's the killer heat across parts of India. So this really coming as a climate emergency. Is this heat wave, an unprecedented heat wave, really a result of the climate heat wave, of the climate emergency? So we can see here a severe heat wave in isolated parts of Bihar and Bengal tomorrow. Also a heat wave in parts of East UP, Orissa, Bengal, Jharkhand and Andhra Pradesh. Orange alert areas show increased likelihood of heat illness symptoms.
India reeling under severe heat, from Uttar Pradesh to Odisha to West Bengal to Assam. Prayagraj in Uttar Pradesh, the hottest in the country at 44.6 degrees. Baripada in Odisha among the hottest, also reeling under heatwave conditions. At 44 degrees, Baripada found itself listed amongst the hottest places in the world by a global weather forecasting site. At the construction sites in the area, no work is happening in the afternoon and schools are shutting at 10 a.m. Officials are setting up heat stroke rooms with ACs or coolers.
All officers of the district have been sensitized, and meetings have been held, and through social media and other mediums, we have sensitized people not to come out of their homes unless it is necessary. We have also made our hospitals ready. Every hospital has been provided with one heat stroke room with ACs and coolers.
In Kolkata too, temperatures hovered around 40 degrees. The weather department has issued heat wave warnings and severe heat wave warnings for several cities in West Bengal and several parts of the country as well. There's no relief in sight from high temperatures, and the temperatures are likely to cross 40 degrees in several cities across the country. But what they're looking at is the data, and this year, in the month of April, the number of days that have crossed temperatures of 40 degrees is already on the higher side, and that, weather experts say, is an indication of climate change.
Severe heatwave condition will continue in Bankura and Purulia for today and tomorrow, that is 18th and 19th. And severe heatwave condition also likely to continue West Bardhaman and Birbhum in the second 48 hours.
In Delhi, there is some relief in sight.
Now, while the IMD has predicted some temporary relief in the form of rain between Wednesday and Friday, the situation is a lot likely to get worse in the coming months.
बढ़िया गर्मी पिछली बार से भी इस बार बहुत ज़्यादा गर्मी है पिछली बार इस टाइम पे इतनी गर्मी नहीं थी जिस टाइम इस टाइम है गर्मी.
Abnormally high temperatures have been the worst in the northeast. Tripura's capital, Agartala, was 38 degrees, about 5 degrees above normal. Schools are being shut till April 23rd.
टेम्परेचर बहुत हाई है त्रिपुरा में और अभी जैसे कि आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे जूस के दुकान वगैरह सब में लाइन लगी हुई है.
On Monday, Guwahati and Imphal were 6 degrees above normal.
In the month of April, we have 39 and still June, July, August is left.
The bigger concern has been places like Shillong, like Gangtok, which are recording temperature close to 30 degree. In fact, here you can see these kind of places, there are more people now. And in fact, if we talk about the entire region, some places it has been more than 6 degree above normal, like in Imphal.
Coastal Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, West Bengal, झारखंड और ये बिहार, इसमें आने वाले 3-4 दिनों में हीट वेव रहने की प्रोबेबिलिटी है. तो जहां आने वाले 2 दिनों में सीवियर हीट वेव की प्रोबेबिलिटी है. इसके राज्यों में ये महत्वपूर्ण है. हाँ जी, ये वेस्ट बंगाल के लिए और बिहार के लिए. और इसके लिए हमने इस राज्यों में आने वाले 4 दिनों के लिए ही हमने ऑरेंज अलर्ट दे रखा है.
Orange alerts and severe heat wave warnings have been issued for isolated pockets over Gangetic West Bengal and Bihar. Heat wave conditions are also likely in isolated pockets over Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Sub-Himalayan West Bengal, Sikkim, Odisha, Jharkhand, coastal Andhra Pradesh and other places, according to the latest weather reports. Experts say India is staring at one of its worst summers this year. An NDTV Bureau report.
And why exactly is it that even if the temperature is, say, 35 or 38, it feels much, much hotter? Well, Priyanshi is here to explain what the wet bulb effect actually is.
That's right, Sonia. It's already too hot for April. But let's just understand when it gets really lethal and concerning for all us humans. And that measure is called the wet bulb temperature. We saw that 13 people died of a heat stroke in Maharashtra. So let's understand what this wet bulb temperature is that indicates when the heat can be lethal for us. Well, this measure is a combination of temperature and humidity. It essentially tells us that at what level our bodies will be unable to cool themselves down by sweating and when they could be prone to heat strokes. The name comes from how it's measured. If you slide a wet cloth over the bulb of a thermometer, the evaporating water from the cloth will cool the thermometer down. So the lowest temperature that the thermometer can be cooled down to after evaporation is called the wet bulb temperature. For us, it is the lowest temperature that our bodies can reach when we are in hotter environments through sweating. So if this lowest temperature is also as high as 35 degrees Celsius, it is considered lethal and can lead to deaths due to heat strokes. Why? Because our body's own temperature is around 37 degrees Celsius, which is around 98 degrees Fahrenheit. And when the wet bulb temperature around us is also around that figure, then the sweat from our bodies is unable to evaporate when the inside and outside temperature is similar. similar. And this temperature rises with humidity. In humidity, it's even harder for sweat to evaporate, like how all of us feel that in coastal areas. And sweating is a way, of course, for our bodies to cool down. And when the sweat evaporates from the surface of the skin, the temperature of our bodies comes down. And when that can't happen, our body can heat up to a dangerous level. Now, when does it get lethal? Studies say that a healthy person can only survive for 6 hours in the heat if the wet bulb temperature is beyond the danger mark. So it's extremely concerning for India, as a report by the World Bank in November warned that India could become one of the first places where wet bulb temperatures routinely exceed the 35 degrees Celsius danger threshold. Even yesterday, 2 areas in Odisha reported higher than the wet bulb temperature. So this is what we need to be aware of, what we need to keep ourselves protected from, and stay indoors and hydrated to keep ourselves protected.
Priyanshi, thanks so much for that update. So, of course, for those who can afford to stay indoors, that's one option. But for others, do remember that perhaps it's an idea for construction to look at happening after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, not between 11 and 4, and perhaps just also sharing water with those who don't have it. Moving on, well, now it's politics. And in Maharashtra, an end to days of speculation came as the normally reticent Ajit Pawar spoke out to say that he is with the NCP and will never leave the NCP. In fact, both Patriarch Sharad Pawar and his nephew Ajit Pawar spoke out today, with Ajit Pawar saying we are all united in the MVA alliance. The public denial came after speculation of Ajit Pawar backing the BJP with some breakaway NCP MLAs, that he was working on this, and even the allies of the MVA had started raising doubts.
NCP leader Ajit Pawar breaking his silence to deny reports he was splitting with the NCP and going with the BJP.
माझ्याबद्दल किंवा माझ्या सहकाऱ्यांच्याबद्दल गैरसमज निर्माण करण्याचा काम जाणीवपूर्वक वेगवेगळ्या ठिकाणी होताना मी स्वतः बघतोय. वास्तविक ह्या ज्या काही बातम्या चाललेल्या आहेत किंवा बातम्या दाखवण्यात येत आहेत, त्या बातम्यांमध्ये काही तथ्य नाही.
Before this, Ajit Pawar met many of the party MLAs seemed to be in his camp. The NCP party whip MLA Anil Patil was also with him. Mr. Patil said almost the same thing as Ajit Pawar, but also added that whatever decision Ajit will take, they will support him.
मैं अजीत दादा के साथ में हूँ और अजीत दादा पार्टी के साथ में.
अजीत दादा जो भी फैसला लेंगे आप उनके साथ हैं.
अजीत दादा पवार साहब को बगैर पूछे कोई फैसला नहीं ले सकते.
Earlier in Pune, party boss and Ajit's uncle Sharad Pawar rejected the reports. But Sanjay Raut of the Uddhav Thackeray faction of the Shiv Sena fueled the news by quoting Sharad Pawar and saying that there was pressure from the ED.
मेरी जानकारी है इस प्रकार की ये सब अफवाहें हैं. अजीत पवार हमारे महाविकास आघाड़ी के शीर्ष नेता है, महत्वपूर्ण नेता है, लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन है.
The timing of these reports is interesting. It's ahead of a Supreme Court verdict on the Shinde government's legitimacy. If the membership of 16 MLAs, including Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, is cancelled, then to save the government, could Ajit Pawar's group be roped in? But looking at the number of MLAs of the BJP and Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena in the assembly, it seems unlikely. The ruling alliance has 165, 20 more than the majority mark. So even if 16 MLAs are disqualified, the government will continue to have a majority. However, now with Ajit Pawar clarifying his stand, it seems like he has put a full stop to all the rumours. With Sunil Singh and Sohit Mishra, Bureau Report, NDTV.
And let's go across to what's happening in Karnataka. Well, amid all the politics, here's one fact that is often ignored. Just how rich Karnataka's MLAs actually are. They're not just crorpatis, they're super crorpatis, and how much their assets have risen in the last 5 years.
BJP minister and candidate from Hoskote, MTB Nagaraj, has reported a nearly 600 crore jump in his wealth from 1015 crore rupees in 2018 to 1614 crore rupees now. The 72-year-old Kuruba businessman turned politician has been a 3-time MLA. Between 2013 and 2018, his assets jumped by 545 crores. A chief minister candidate from the Congress, DK Shivkumar's wealth has seen a jump of 62% from 840 crores in 2018 to 1358 crores. He owns educational institutions and deals in real estate. His assets had gone up by 589 crores in 5 years from 241 crores in 2013. Another BJP minister whose wealth has grown 580% is Tankot MLA Muniratna, who was linked to the voter ID scam. He declared 43 crores as Congress candidate in 2018 and his assets are now 293 crores and he is contesting from Rajarajeshwari Nagar constituency. As compared to the richest BJP and Congress candidates, JDS leader H.D. Kumaraswamy's assets have grown a relatively modest 14 crores from 167 crores in 2018 to 181 crores now. With MS Srija in Bengaluru, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
The other big headline, Uttar Pradesh's chief minister speaking at an investment summit today has assured industrialists that organized crime and gangsters no longer exist in Uttar Pradesh, that they're fully safe to invest in the state. This comes in a day that the National Human Rights Commission has also issued notices to the UP police on what exactly led to the killings of convicted gangster Atiq Ahmed and his brother on live TV by shooters while he was in police custody.
अब कोई पेशेवर अपराधी और माफिया किसी उद्यमी को फोन से डरा धमका नहीं सकता है.
Days after the murders of gangster Atiq Ahmed and his brother in Prayagraj, shot in the head in police custody on live TV, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, facing a wave of criticism over the state's law and order situation, today once again claimed things have become much better in the state under his government. This as UP police sources claimed that they had made a fresh breakthrough after interrogating the accused, who shot Atiq and his brother dead in the presence of a sizable police security. Police sources told NDTV the mastermind of the murder is 23-year-old Sunny Singh, one of the shooters, who plotted the murders inspired by jail gangster Lawrence Bishnoi. Singh reportedly got heavily influenced by Bishnoi's communally charged speeches and dreamt of a big kill like that of Sidhu Moosewala, who was gunned down allegedly by members of the Bishnoi gang on the 29th of May last year.
Sunny Singh was inspired by gangster Lawrence Bishnoi, who is currently lodged in Punjab jail. He watched Lawrence Bishnoi's interview on television. A private news channel did an interview with Lawrence Bishnoi a month back. He got inspired by Lawrence Bishnoi. He revealed that Lawrence Bishnoi is gangster number one, but he wanted to become a bigger gangster than Lawrence Bishnoi.
Police sources say it was Singh who brought the other two accused, Lovlesh Tiwari and Arun Maurya, together to carry the shootout. But it is still not clear how the three got to know each other and where they found the money to buy the sophisticated, expensive weapons to carry out the shooting. With Saurabh Shukla in Prayagraj, Bureau Report, NDTV.
A quick look at other news. Well, markets declined for the second straight session today. The latest numbers, the Sensex fell 183 points. The Nifty fell by 46 points, ending at 17,660. IT and banking stocks continue to witness a volatile trade today. The rupee weakened by 7 paise. Well, all the excitement, however, was in Mumbai, where Apple's first India store opened today with the CEO of the world's biggest company by market cap, Tim Cook, personally there to welcome customers. An Apple fan brought a 1984 Mac to the grand opening, while others had travelled from other cities and stayed camped outside the store overnight for today's opening.
Usually people bring their phones, they bring their watches. What exactly have you brought?
The original Mac SE from 1984.
So you have been a loyal fan since
Yes,
then.
Since
What is
1984 I have been using Apple products.
Apple CEO Tim Cook inaugurated the country's first Apple store in Mumbai today. spread over 20,000 square feet, the Apple Store will have over 100 employees who will be able to assist customers in 20 languages. While there was a huge crowd present outside the store, some Apple fans from Rajasthan, Pune and Mumbai were waiting since Monday night to shop at the store.
We have been camping here. The last meal was actually lunch yesterday for all three of us. We all met each other for the first time here, the fanboy vibes. So I met him on Twitter and then we connected and we decided to come here. And he joined us from Pune late last night. So 12 a.m. he was here and then we've been sitting together talking about Apple. We haven't slept. We have been sitting.
I actually brought my sleeping bag with me. I came here, met these guys, did not leave it.
Apple's first retail store in the country has truly got an Indian touch, with elements from Rajasthan and New Delhi. The store has a dedicated solar array and there's zero reliance on fossil fuel for all store operations. Apple's growth, albeit off a lower base, is contrary to market trends, and their new navigation strategy included 3 broad steps: manufacturing iPhones locally, dovetailing with the Make in India program. To start expanding its retail presence, partly in response to other smartphone makers carpet bombing the nation with physical stores, and to gain market share by lowering prices regarding specific products.
After the first Apple store has been opened in Mumbai, people will now be able to experience and purchase Apple products from the store located at the Bandra Kurla complex. The store is a major step by Apple to increase its offline presence in the Indian market and take on its closest rivals. In Mumbai, with camera person Rajendra Dayalkar, Sohit Mishra, NDTV.
So all the band and baja at the Apple Store in Mumbai, but lots of, well, baja at least, lots of songs, campaign songs going viral online. There's nothing official about many of them, but they're all extremely creative and going viral.
ಸರ್ಕಾರ 40% ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾಮು ಅವ್ರೇನೆ ಮೋದಿ ಮಾತಾರೆ ಮೋಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಹಾಡಿ ಮೋದಿ 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 ಮೋಡಿಯಿಂದ ನಾಡು 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 ಭವ್ಯನಾ